Supporters as they seek to build a new young team, and maybe for Arsenal fans.
Well, I think he could be starting the second half. It looks to me as if Gareth Bale's going to start the second half. So hold the front, they're starting to get exposed. So I agree. I see them needing to improve at the back. No doubt about that for me.
Well, but it is a back four with Kolasinac at left back, Jenkinson at right back. And Gareth Bale is out there for Real Madrid at the start of this second half.
Yep, he's going to play right down the middle by the looks of it.
The £50 million purchase, Eden Hazard. Balmy, 79 degrees. And certainly acceptable levels of humidity. I know there's a huge heat wave going on back home, but this should not inconvenience these players. Superstars on both sides. The first ever Madrid derby played outside of the Spanish capital, and who better in the whole world of football than Jerry Armstrong to watch it with us. Welcome, Jerry.
Thanks very much, Paul. Looking forward to this. It's a bit of history in the making. Obviously, these two clubs have never competed outside of Spain. I'll throw you a few facts in as well. Obviously, you've got, you know, there's a lot of animosity between the two clubs, and of course Atletico Madrid finished second in the league last season and Real Madrid were third, but you'll see a lot of competitiveness, and that's the start of it now.
Right away, it was Lamar making his mark. It was shifted right to Diego Costa, and Atletico have scored within 43 seconds here. Talk about being caught cold in the heat. Real Madrid nowhere, and Atletico lead 1-0.
Well, that's it. They lost a challenge on the halfway line now. You talk about Diego Simeone. His teams are so fired up, and we've been chatting about it before the game kicked off. They're fired up. They want to win this game. The animosity, the hatred between the two clubs. You'll see that later on. And I'm going to mention, obviously, Sergio Ramos, who's been sent off 19 times in the Liga, 24 times in total. That looks like it takes a deflection. I think the shot from Costa was deflected by Sergio Ramos. Let's have a look, see.
Jerry, I wonder whether Morata was also very clever. Would he have been given offside if he touched it? I don't know.
Well, let's see again. I think the keeper had it covered. It was going to hit the near post, and it was deflected into the far post there, off the right foot ankle of Sergio Ramos. And had Morata touched it, I think it would have been disallowed. And he was clever enough to let it run. And I'm not sure these two guys would get together and be a good formation, the two centre forwards, because they're similar. Put his claim in.
Toni Kroos with the corner. The man nice and sharp again. A little help on its way by João Felix. And very nicely worked to Morata, who's also moving well here early on. Diego Costa was creeping in behind Marcelo. They're looking razor sharp here, Atletico.
Well, Morata does brilliant. The ex-Real Madrid player, who I think should never have been sold. That's a free kick.
But the press is strong and purposeful all round the field from Atletico. And Eden Hazard, well, here we go again with Hazard. We know what an absolute superstar he is, Jerry.
So they have to find the best formation. And Luka Jovic has got to find hard. He's going to get opportunities in centre goal. We haven't seen anything of him. He's been really unfortunate. And look at this, over the top, he's onside.
It's another race for Ramos to get back onside. Such a poor touch by Costa. Courtois, well, he's presented with it in the end. Morata and Costa are running riot at the moment. It was Morata, actually, who was in that time.
Well, Nacho playing at centre-half, Paul, alongside Sergio Ramos. He gets sent off in the game, and he hasn't had a particularly good tournament so far for me.
Vinicius,
this poor second touch. Should have been 2-0 up.
Taken short this time to the back post by Modric. It wasn't a bad one. Nacho is in there. Marcelo. Tentative little prod at the ball by Vinicius.
But he's not playing well at the moment. He's a wee bit short of confidence for me.
Vinicius Junior, one who hopes will profit from the departure of Bale, and it's beautifully worked to Odriozola. There were times last season when one suspected that Zinedine Zidane really wanted to get Vinicius Junior in the side ahead of Bale. Yes. Is that fair?
Yes, but Vinicius, it took a little bit of time for him to come through at his age. Look at his cut back from Odriozola, looking for
very slow to start against Arsenal. And even before that, Jerry, I think back to the latter part of last season, the second coming of Zizou to Real Madrid, and it did not go very well. Those defeats mounted up, didn't they, late in the campaign? Valencia, Rayo Vallecano, Real Sociedad. They even lost at home to Real Betis at the very end of the season. So a win would be very, very important for them, I think.
Yeah, they're a bit short of confidence again, and it's scoring goals now. Look at this.
Saul has got it. And it's 2, and João Felix weighs in with a goal for his new club. A fabulous start to his Atletico Madrid career. There's one thing to score in that famous jersey, but to do it against the famous all-white makes it all right indeed.
Well, that's a dream start for João Felix. He's come into the box. He had a great season last year, particularly the second half for Benfica. And Sal gets to the byline, too easy for me, cuts it back. Oh, there's 3 or 4 white shirts. They're not picking anybody up. And it's awful defending, it really is. And where's Odriozola? He might get forward, but he hasn't got back. And it's a tap in for João Felix, and a great opening debut goal in the derby for him. Oh, too easy, Paul, far too easy.
Atletico Madrid, true to type, seem to have been working very, very hard while they've been here since the 0-0 against Guadalajara to open the International Champions Cup campaign. And the hard yards they've been putting in under Simeone in preparation for this game are paying off, because they look, yards quicker.
They look a better organised team. They're working. They have a shape to them. They haven't had as many changes. I know they've lost Griezmann, who's a big loss, but you know, they've got 2 goal scorers or 2 target men. I'm not being funny. Diego Costa should have scored 2 minutes ago. It should have been 3-0. And they have had a horrendous start. 2-0 down against Arsenal. They missed chance after chance against Bayern Munich in the opening half, and they ended up losing 3-1, and I thought deservedly so. But they need to find the shape. They need to find a pattern. They need to slot this man into position along with all the others. There's so many faces they're trying to find out about, and there's players who are not even here at the moment who are unavailable. Casemiro's one of them.
Laid off by Jovic, but Jovic not really doing much in where he can do his best work, which is in that penalty box.
Oh, Paul, on the counter-attack, they're going to rip them to pieces.
Morata again finding João Felix. João Felix again! Courtois in goal, throws his arms wide and says, I need a bit of help here, guys. They couldn't so easily be 3 down.
4 against 2. The other 2 are coming back. They're out of the game. It's the 2 full-backs, Marcelo and Odriozola. It's the 2 centre-halves left, 4 on 2. He should have scored, or he should have played somebody else in. It should be 4-0.
Modric trying to pick it up for Real Madrid. Odriozola had the chance to get his head up and look for a target, and that's as easy as it could be for Trippier. Nicely taken by Morata. This is one of the great unknowns, of course, for 2019-20, isn't it? Morata, if they can get a tune out of him, Jerry. Here's Lamar, who's looked very, very good so far, and he's worked it well. Ramos got his head on it. Some composure is required from Real Madrid's point of view. Vinicius gives it to Eden Hazard. Hazard down the middle. Eventually got clear of Saul's challenge. Vinicius Junior. Jovic is well picked up at the moment, and there was nothing to cross it to.
I don't know what the shape is. I don't know how they're going to play. He didn't anticipate it well.
Real Madrid will do well to recover again here, though, as they did against Arsenal. This looks an altogether stiffer test here.
Well, they won't capitulate too easy. This well-organised machine that Simeone has put together, and they know the Real Madrid players inside out. I just think the shape of the Atletico Madrid team and players is much better than Real Madrid. They are all over the place at the moment, Paul, to be honest. Well, there's something wrong with Morata. He's not injured, is he?
think they're not going to take a chance. He's going to be withdrawn. That's sad for him, and obviously a concern going forward. Real Madrid know all about that during this spell in the United States. They've had several injuries of their own, of course.
If they think they had problems with Morata, Correa is a flying machine.
And somebody they really believe in.
Angel Correa is a goal scorer. He's a flying machine, and you know that's maybe a better partnership now because you've a target man and Diego Costa, and you've a little quick guy who'll play off him, and he'll run them ragged as well. He thinks he's come to the world beaters here. They really have started so well.
25 million from Tottenham. And here's the young left-back, Renan Lodi, who is also looking a player in the great tradition of Lamar. Deflection on it, Courtois got down well. It was Diego Costa who
run in the Champions League, but he needs to improve on that every year. He drives himself on. He's such a hard pass master. That's a good ball. Here's Trippier.
Eluded Marcelo. Ramos kept his arms by his side. It's nicely done by Koke. Brilliantly done. And it's 3. Oh, it's fantastic. They can't stop themselves from scoring. Correa's in this time.
Oh, what a goal.
Koke so very, very clever, and Courtois beat it again.
Well, I did say to you, when this young boy comes on, Angel Correa, he is a flying machine. He's got great technique. He knows where the back of the net is, and I think that's a good partnership. Really is. But the ball from Sal was a good ball. You're right. I think Real Madrid are still in second gear. They're first everything. Trippier wins this. The ball forward, clever, links it through. He's onside. He takes a touch. He knows where the back of the net is, and instinctively pivots there and bang, back of the net. No chance for Courtois. 3-0. This is a rout. It really is. Wonderful skills.
But Jerry, what are Real Madrid doing back there? Everybody rushes to the ball. It's panic stations in front of Courtois.
We need to see changes. We need to see changes in attitude with the players. There's a lot of experienced players on there. You know, Luka Modric is World Cup final player, and I don't see it. And Sergio Ramos has won the World Cup. Here's Luka Modric.
Vinicius Junior didn't wait for Odriozola this time, and Oblak took one then. He got a strong hand on the ball.
Well, it's Jovic, I think, trying to get on the end of it, which he's entitled to. It was a great ball in, and it's a 50-50. The goalkeeper, Oblak, is very, very brave. I think Luka Jovic has just stuck his foot out, trying to get a contact on it, and he does catch him. It looks accidental to me, but it must have hurt.
Might have hurt both of them.
Yep.
Anyway, that's what they paid the money for, Jerry. 60 million to Eintracht Frankfurt to bring him in. He had a fabulous goal-scoring run last season in the Bundesliga.
He's a poacher. He needs better service, and that's the first service he's really had in the opening 25 minutes. Oh, now. Is this going to be a striking goal?
Yes, it is. Not a very good one, in all honesty, from Lamar, but we know he's capable. Incidentally, the left-back, Renan Lodi, is moving okay, and so too here again is Correa. Jerry forecast he would be lively, and he was correct. Diego Costa wants it played in his direction. The first to everything. Saul had a pop from distance.
That's the key for me. Angel Correa, when he made the run there and he was onside, he's coming from a deep position. Nobody picks him up. Look at that pass. It's awful.
Saul won it back, and here we go again, and it's 4. And this is actually becoming embarrassing for Real Madrid.
Well, it's easy for Sal, because if you anticipate and you want to get to the ball before the opposition and they're in second gear, they're going to have chance after chance, and they can score at will. 4-0. This is going to be a huge defeat.
Diego Costa written off too soon, perhaps. He's got 2 here against Real Madrid.
It's all about anticipation, and when Sal wins it and gives it to him, Diego Costa's not going to miss. Thank you very much. There, the pass from Sergio Ramos is awful. Luka Modric on his back foot. Sal anticipates it, wins the ball, slots it in. They are committing suicide. They really are awful.
Wasn't anywhere near his best in 2018-19, but he looks renewed here, I must say.
Well, Thomas, probably 90% of the games I played, I had some sort of a knock. So you either want to play, you don't want to play. But when your confidence is low and you're not scoring goals, maybe you didn't want to play for that reason. And here's Karim Benzema on the park after 29 minutes.
I'm afraid it has been as bad a start to his Real Madrid career as Luka Jovic could ever have envisaged. And straight away onto the head of Benzema.
It's more like a cushioned header, wasn't it, rather than a powerful header. Yeah. Well, it was his left knee, as I made the point, and they haven't had a good time with left knees, as I said. Marcus said you, hopefully it's nothing serious. And there's a yellow card, and that's the edge we were talking about. And it's, well, that man, I can't believe Isco has made a tackle. Well, it's a silly challenge, because the first touch from Correa is there. He's got the ball, and he doesn't go anywhere near the ball. He's right in front of the referee. He leaves him no choice but to book him. That was made out of frustration more than anything.
I'll tell you another great thing about this tournament, the International Champions Cup, Jerry. I go back a year or two ago to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich came to play in this tournament, and there was quite clearly something wrong. Something was amiss, and everybody, it was nearly 5 thanks to Ramos there, everybody at the time said, oh no, it's only the warm-up games, it's Bayern Munich, they'll get better. Ancelotti had gone by the second week of September. Yep. Lamar. It's a good one. Sharp stop from Courtois, completely unchallenged. Was it Savic who went for it?
Yeah, and this is awful. He has nobody picking him up, marking him. It's a free header. Have a look at this. Where's his marker going? It looks like it's Toni Kroos, who should be close to him, but they're not picking him up. Free header, he comes in from the edge of the box and hammers the header, and it's Hermoso. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. How many chances? And he's made 2 or 3 good saves. They're obviously thinking, can we get Pogba in here? Are they going to have the money from? They're going to have to sell. Obviously, Bale's going to make way for, and they bring cash into that. There's a push in the
Benzema.
back. Push in the back.
It was Modric's cross that found Karim Benzema.
Yeah, I think you'll see the little nudge in the back of Trippier. He just pushes him there and wins the ball. But even then, when he cushions it down, the shot from Vinicius is
right now.
Yeah, the majority of the fans have come here to see the Real Madrid, but they haven't seen the Real Madrid. They've seen a pretender of a Real Madrid. It's not really turned up yet. Here we go.
The new look Atletico are brisk, business-like, confident, and very fit for a team that's only played 1 game before tonight. And here's Kieran Trippier arriving in the box. It's a great ball by Trippier, wow. And it should again be 5.
Oh, fabulous ball, Kieran Trippier. I tell you, that was different class. Lamar would be disappointed he hasn't put that one away. Super ball in, he whips it in. Oh, it's a great delivery. He's got to just cushion that one with his left foot in the back of the net. It's got to be in the goal, and so disappointed with the finish. No, Raphael Varane should be in there. He's a world-class centre-half who is a French World Cup winner. He's got to be in, and I think Carvajal's going to end up getting in instead of... Oh!
That's a bit more like it, and Oblak gets a lucky bounce back off the post. Vinicius Junior hit the post, but he couldn't squeeze it into the net, which is what Real Madrid really need right now.
Yeah, that's the best moment of the first half for Real Madrid. And you know, Vinicius Junior in the penalty area, he's closed down. It goes through the legs of Savic and in off the inside of the post, back into the hands of Oblak. A little bit of good fortune for them there.
And Jerry, not dissimilar to the position from which Correa.
Definitely. When you come with a reputation, players will try and do anything they can to prevent you being that class player that you were in your own country. Maybe under a lot more pressure. Still very young and developing, has great potential.
Cross got up to Koke, and he's given it to Vinicius Junior. Good recovery by Koke. Toni Kroos had an extra touch then. Picked up by Modric. He's found Marcelo. Again, he took a long time to hit it. Eden Hazard, he doesn't want to switch onto his right the way he would have at Chelsea and hit that.
And that's what I thought he should have done. Come inside on the right and hammered it. Well, you know, Two half-shot chances on the edge of the box, and there's always
incoming player.
Well, the pressure on an Atletico Madrid team is obviously not as great because of what they've achieved. They've won now 10 titles over the history of Spanish La Liga. That's a great ball, he's in.
Lodi again to João Felix, who's shaping up so very well. João Felix, a new name to so many over here. Not for much longer. Diego Costa went over. It might be a penalty. It is a penalty.
There's a little bit of a shimmy from Diego Costa when he receives the ball inside the box. This is brilliant skill from João Felix. He lays it off here, and there's the pass from Lamar now. One touch. Oh, it's a silly challenge from Isco.
Who's on a yellow card, remember. I wonder whether there's another yellow to come.
That's a penalty kick all day long. He's got to be kidding me. Good save from Courtois. He's had a busy first half.
I was going to say, Jerry, not the first good save from Courtois by any means. Respectable. Costa down the middle, beats Courtois, and Real Madrid would rather be anywhere else right now. It's Real Madrid 0, Atletico Madrid 5, and honestly, hardly anyone can believe this.
Well, I would say they've created at least 9 or 10 chances, and he's clever. Don't follow the eyes. Courtois goes to his right, he hammers it straight down the middle. He opens his body up slightly, but Diego Costa, first half hat-trick. Who would have thought it?
There may well be wholesale changes. Atletico changed everybody at the half. "33 times La Liga champions, peerless, the 13-time European champions, and in this International Champions Cup meeting here in New York, Real Madrid have looked a pale imitation of their club's great history. It has been all Atletico Madrid. Diego Costa has got a hat-trick, and Atletico are in dreamland here. They've been all over Real Madrid." So Atletico get the ball moving in the second half here in the MetLife Stadium, and Real Madrid need 5 in 45 minutes to emerge with any credit.
Oh, great switch of play here. Oh, well covered. First piece of action from Carvajal, and the first piece of action he was going to come on for Odriozola.
Just beyond Benzema, Luka Modric. Here, Jerry, play virtually anywhere.
Yeah, he's got pace, and they're hoping he can get one-on-one situations, but they're very aware of him as that one's knocked over the top for Diego Costa. Shows good pace.
He's loving it here tonight, looking completely rejuvenated after his injury problems.
Well, a fit Diego Costa. That's exactly what happened.
Player flattened in the line of sight of the referee that time.
Well, it was Lucas Vazquez who was hammered, or sorry, Carvajal, Danny Carvajal. And you can see he's pushed over.
Atletico second with 76. Real Madrid a distant third with 68, and likely to go 6 behind in this game. They are 6 behind. He just cannot stop scoring tonight. Diego Costa has done it again.
4 goals. He has found his form. He is on cloud 9. Honestly, every time he gets the ball, he looks like he's going to score.
This is the Diego Costa we saw at Chelsea 3 and 4 years ago, terrorising centre-backs and so confident in front of goal.
Yeah, he's class. He is a class act. He's a class finisher, especially in this form. And he times his run perfectly through the legs of the defender, and he dinks it over the advancing Keylor Navas. But what about the defence again? He's got a touch, and it's through the legs of Nacho.
Another great thing about this for Atletico Madrid, the assist by João Felix, as he was doing at Benfica last season, Jerry, and you spotted it earlier tonight for our viewers. He just sits off the defender. Here's Correa to make a forward move for Atletico. He's stopped by Ramos. Marcelo weaves away forward. Eden Hazard found Marcelo. Marcelo goes for the spectacular.
Well, it has to be spectacular because he's surrounded by red and white striped shirts, and it's first touch, he flicks it up, and he's got to go for the overhead kick. He's got Savic, he's got Hermoso, he's got everybody in front of him. But two players straight away to close Eden Hazard down, so they have stopped him performing, and that's what they do in La Liga. They'll put two players on you to stop you getting the ball and stop you becoming a threat.
Era, Jerry, they just shut every door in your face, leave you nowhere to go.
Just look at the shape, 4-4-2. You can see the shape of them there, and they close. Look, there's two players, always two players in the wide position to come and close down. And if you can go past one of them, the second one will nick the ball on you. And here they go again.
Carvajal, that's a clever ball. Better from Real Madrid. Lucas Vazquez from the edge of the box, and it was Hermoso this time. Let's see how they defend the corner. It was Hermoso again. It looks as though, Jerry, you'd know much better than us, but here's Marcelo. Still alive here, briefly.
Sergio Ramos going for the spectacular overhead kick.
It looks as though Atletico have done their shopping on the basis of, well, we know one veteran is now leaving, so we'll go and find a player who plays exactly like a Godin or a Felipe Luis.
Yeah.
There's two.
Well, Militao, they'll be crying for him to come in and play. Nacho's had a very... But I've always liked Nacho. The last 2-3 seasons, he's been a utility man, and he can play anywhere across the back four, and he usually doesn't let you down, but he hasn't played well so far.
Hazard again crowded. Isco got away from one. Went over on the edge of the box. Benzema, never the silkiest in possession, Benzema. That's a bit of a liberty taken by João Felix. Modric won it back. Benzema goes for it.
Well, he got up, but he couldn't hit the target with it. Does he give a corner kick? Does it come off someone else? I thought when the ball went to Luka Modric in the edge of the box, he should have shot, but he put it wide right to Lucas, and Lucas puts in this ball, and let's have a look. Does it hit the head of... Yes, it does. It hits the head of Savic.
Eden Hazard. That's a bit more like it from Hazard, and they get one back. Real Madrid. The last touch might have been by Nacho.
I don't think he knew too much about it. It hit him rather than him putting the ball in the net. And it was good play from Eden Hazard. That's a really positive attacking role he's shown there on the left-hand side, Paul, and he needed it, and Real Madrid needed it.
That was a moment, a glimpse of the real Eden Hazard in a Real Madrid jersey. Here it is, and he gets away from Correa.
Shows great determination, and there's a touch at the near post, and it hits the left heel of Nacho. I don't know if he knows too much about it, but it hits him on the left heel, and he's happy to claim that goal.
Well, obviously, Rafael Varane is still a youngster. Now, Gareth Bale's going to come on here as part of a wholesale regrouping by Zidane. This is the same Gareth Bale who we were told all through today will definitely not be involved this time. He's definitely about to sign for a club in China.
Well, he's coming on the park, which is great to see, and De La Fuente's coming on, and Kubo is coming on. I'm looking forward to seeing Kubo.
Teenager from Japan who's an outstanding talent.
Well, is it Kubo? Hold on.
Rodrigo's also coming on, Jerry.
Yeah.
Eden Hazard was just coming to life then. I think he looks a bit disappointed. Bound to get feisty. Challenge. It always does here, and people need to put their arms down. Diego Costa's in the middle of it, and he's lost the plot, as he tends to do all too often. Carvajal actually took the first hit, and he didn't like it much.
Well, that's what I was talking about, and it's Lucas, I think, and Lucas is not happy. He's not happy with the challenge, I think, from Diego Costa. Who would be a referee in these situations? And Koke, I think, and Danny Carvajal are trying to sort it out. Two Spanish internationals who know each other very well. Linesmen chatting to the referee.
But as you reminded everybody at the start, Jerry, you know, the intensity of the rivalry never goes away.
Yeah. And, oh, that's a bad challenge now.
It's a foul on Lamar.
It is, but he kicks him. And now watch the challenge coming back from Diego Costa. And that's why Carvajal reacts straight away. And he's standing up for the player who was kicked, and everybody gets involved.
And we mean everybody.
Yep. Diego Costa's been brought over by Simeone, and Carvajal should be the other one.
Yep. Surely there's no need for anything other than a yellow, just to calm a couple of people down.
Yeah, but he's got red.
Oh, we're going to go with red. I said it because I sensed it could happen, Jerry. Is that really appropriate?
I don't think so. I think yellow card would have been enough, but the referee wants to be very strict in this occasion. He's gone for it. That's one of the reasons I mentioned at the start about the disciplinary record of Sergio Ramos, who's got 24 red cards in his career in Spanish football and has the highest record of any other player. But two players sent off.
Diego Costa, who was in the thick of it, it must be said. And we think it's Carvajal. We're going to confirm that.
It is. It's definitely Danny Carvajal. Carvajal and Costa are the two sent off. He didn't play long the second half, Carvajal, did he?
No, he didn't. And it's a bit like Nacho in the previous outing for Real Madrid.
Yeah. There he is, Danny Carvajal.
Hopefully the blood will cool.
Well, he was the one I talked to.
Insulted by a red card, because for all the stuff down the years about how fiery he is and how dangerous a man he can be to confront. Gareth Bale trying to invent something which Real Madrid so badly need at the moment. Benzema was alive to it, but nobody else was.
Wow.
For all the stuff,
Real Madrid.
So Herrera has arrived at Atletico along with Felipe, the Brazilian centre-back from Porto. They paid a fee for him. And again, that looks a very sound, well-thought-out transfer for a player who just gives you everything every week. This is a fabulous run forward, and it's an even better finish to make it 7-1 for Atletico Madrid. There's no end to this. Navas got nowhere near it. Another special goal tonight from Atletico Madrid.
Well, it's Vitolo who's the sub, who's only been on, what, 3 or 4 minutes, and he's a class player. He's a left-sided midfield player, but he's come all the way. He's run a good 15-20 yards, come inside on his right foot, and buried it in the bottom corner.
Dare I say, Jerry, one of the forgotten men.
Well, sometimes they're forgotten, like Diego Costa. They remember him now, don't they? But look at this run. Really strong, penetrating run, past one. Keeps going. Then he's going to come inside here, and he shows good body strength coming in on his right foot, and that's a great finish. That's one of the best goals of the night for me.
A little glimpse of his undoubted talent. He was a star at Sevilla. Atletico paid a lot of money for him, but so far he's not fired at all at Atletico. Maybe now.
He has tonight. That's a class goal. Absolutely.
Performance level out of Kalinic when basically other people had given up on him.
Oh, he's onside.
Flag stayed down. Navas palms it, but it's still alive. Vitolo onto the bits and pieces, and it's around the post and out where it can do no harm, but the harm has been done already.
End-to-end stuff.
Yes, he's come on for Kieran Trippier, Carlos Munoz, Obero, Lucas Vazquez. Rodrigo's cross wasn't a bad one, and Gareth Bale was in there. Gives us a smile at least.
Well, could this be the last game he plays for Real Madrid? He's trying to get in, he gets the header from a coach's point of view.
Sense that Real Madrid just wish this was over, but there's more punishment to come.
Unbelievable.
Gets away with one. He knew nothing about it.
It should have been 8. It really should have been 8.
I don't know whether this is actually becoming more embarrassing now than the first half, because Atletico Madrid have put on the kids, and the kids look absolutely full of confidence that they can go and score at will for Atletico.
Well, they're all fit and they're all keen, and it should have been a goal. You know, I've seen Carmelo there, who should have scored.
Jesus Vallejo, young centre-back from Real Madrid, has been told he can make a move to Wolverhampton Wanderers in England.
Yeah,
he's one of the ones they've developed over the last couple of years, and he's now told, well, we don't need you after all. What's your view about that?
Well, he doesn't fit in with Marcelo's going to start the season off. There's not an awful lot between the two of them at the moment, but you know, Mendy has to find out how good his teammates are and find out all about them, as does everybody else. You know, we talked about Eden Hazard. He's got to learn the language.
Gareth Bale. One of the reasons suggested for the way the romance faded for Bale at Real Madrid is alleged reluctance to really participate, become an expert speaker. All this stuff comes out, of course, when things go wrong. If he's winning games by himself, it's never mentioned.
Well, that's his performances when they win Champions League, and when he pulled them because, you know, they don't want him there.
Yeah, I think so too. But the problem remains, Jerry, have the lessons been learned from the last few years when they're being shown up so badly here?
Oh my goodness. Everything went right. Paul, honestly, it should have been another goal.
This could be another big moment in the season ahead. If they're going to get a level of performance out of Vitolo, and he's beginning to look like the player we saw at Sevilla.
He is, and he's played the ball in there. He's gone for the return pass, and he's thinking it over the top of... And I couldn't agree anymore, because I think that's exactly right. I think they're a good cup team, and there's some of the games that they've won in the Champions League. I still can't believe they actually won them.
Well, absolutely right. I think back to the semi-final against Bayern Munich,
yeah,
3 seasons ago now. How they ever got through that?
Well, one of the things they did that day was Zidane played as many Champions League. We're in double figures, nobody else is. And they can say the same about league titles. 33 league titles to their name, and Barcelona 26. Atletico Madrid's won 10.
In recent times, it's Simeone and Atletico Madrid's hearts that have been broken more than any other club by Real Madrid in the Champions League, of course.
Yep.
But raising yourself for 1 or 2 games a season is not the same as being a dominant force.
No, totally. It's your league title is the bread and butter. That's the proof for me in the pudding. And Messi and co are the team that everybody has to be plus for them. Here's a good run.
Is there to be a swan song for Gareth Bale? He'd like it.
That's class. He has that acceleration. Looks like he hardly broke sweat as he hit 3rd and 4th gear on the outside into the tight angle and puts it across the face of goal. But that's vintage Gareth Bale and Carlos.
These hungry young Atletico Madrid players are not letting Real rest even now. Carmelo was in the box, he didn't come for him. Maybe should have come in a little bit more quickly.
Oh, we were talking about Herrera earlier, Paul. That was his run, who went a lot of quality players in there, and João Felix has been top drawer. He's going to score goals, he's going to create goals for them.
Thinking back even slightly further, Jerry, to echo your point, you know, the team season before, penalty for Real Madrid, and a fig leaf to cover some of their wounded pride, perhaps. Nacho won it, he was a bit too clever.
Well, do you know what? He's a utility player. I told you can play anywhere in the back four. He's got into that position, and he's gone outside Herrera, and he's won the penalty kick. And it's Benzema who's going to take it.
He can't wait to take it, Benzema. Oblak's looking thoroughly fed up with life, isn't he? He's conceded one, and now he might concede again. He does concede again.
Well, this game's finishing 2-2 the second half. They lost the first half 5-0, but he'll say we drew 2-2. That's a good run. That's a clumsy challenge, I have to say. Herrera, he gets across him, and I can see why the referee's given the penalty. But well done to Nacho. That's some penalty, isn't it? Positioned that perfectly just inside the post. He was Real Madrid's top goal scorer. Here's Gareth Bale.
I just don't think that this late flourish can in any way disguise the problems facing Zidane, Jerry.
No, they're very evident, and I said that in the last two games, I have to say, against Bayern Munich and certainly against Arsenal.
Well played by Bale. In by Vasquez. Put away by Felipe.
Well, he's a really good man in the transfer market.
Black sharp stop. It's still alive for Real Madrid. Vasquez, deflection on the cross, all along the goal line and turned in. It's another one for Real Madrid.
Wow, that's fantastic stuff. I have to say, the shot from Kubo from the edge of the box was fantastic. That was unbelievable.
And the player credited with the goal to make things look slightly better, De La Fuente.
Yeah, Gareth Bale on the end of it, heading it downwards, and then in it goes from De La Fuente. Does it cross the line? Oh, it doesn't.
I'm not sure actually, and credit to the player who actually followed in thereafter.
Well, De La Fuente gets the header there, it hits the post. I'm not sure that crosses the line.
I don't think it did, Jerry, on reflection.
Yeah. So then it's the follow-up. No, it doesn't cross the line.
So a late cavalcade of goals, which to a degree masks what has happened here this evening to Real Madrid. And right on 90 minutes, the referee calls it off. Nobody's going to be fooled by what we saw in the last 10 minutes here when Real Madrid did get the ball in the net on a couple of occasions. For the preceding 85 minutes or more, they have been given a lesson, a very painful lesson, by their great local rivals. Hernandez now credited with that third goal for Real Madrid, but look at the other column. 4 from Diego Costa, Correa, João Felix and Vitolo also on target. The only downbeat note for Atletico here, the red card for Diego Costa after a bit of a schmozzle, and a little glimpse tonight of this young man, João Felix, and the extraordinary potential he possesses, which makes Atletico very confident that they can live on and prosper without Antoine Griezmann, and the likes of Kieran Trippier and the rest of the new boys also excelled in a first half where Atletico tore Real Madrid asunder from the first minute to the last. It was 5-0 at half-time, and it could even have been worse than that. And with or without Gareth Bale, it's a mighty big job to set a mighty club.
Minasan, konnichiwa, konbanwa. YouTube 楽しんでますか？こうチャンネルこうでございます。さあ、始めてまいりましょう。ドラゴンクエスト3、本日は34回目でございます。やっと覚えた盗賊の特技ですね。盗賊の花とレミラーマ。これを使って、今まで来た道のりをちょっと戻って、取り逃しのね、宝箱とか探していこうということで戻ってみたら、まあ、そもそも行ってない家の中とかね、もう漁ってないって言い方がちょっと良くないですけれども、まあ、見てないところが多いのによーく気づきますね。こういう風に編集したり見直してみたりすると。そういうのやり残しがたくさんあるのでね、まだまだやるところはたくさんある。で、キラーンって光ってもそもそもどこだっていうね、そのキラーンって光るところを探さなきゃいけない。前のめりでやりながらやってるので、どうもこうなっちゃうと、行きましょう。全然わかんない。キラリラリンってならないもんね。とこ
宝箱で1個あるって出たもんね。どこだろう。ここ開けてなかったねえ、こうやってやっていかないとダメなんだよね、やっぱり。はい、行ってみましょう。いないらしいね。うん。こっちじゃなかったっけ？あ、違った。ないね。ノアニール。ないらしい。これというのに将来とて話してわかりました。OK ですね。じゃあこっちから、あら。強くなった方だね。フルカスがレベルアップ。 ないね。あ、1個あるってよ。どこにだ？確実に取り忘れだね。開けてるもんな。あ、ここですか。すごろっけん。